Good evening, students. So today we are going to discuss about the security mechanisms, which is continuation to the previous class where we have discussed about the security services. So where in the security services to provide a security service, we are going to combine different security mechanisms. Okay. So while combining different security mechanisms, then only it will be a security service, which is going to be provide security to an organization. Okay. So suppose if you have an organization in which you are buying some security service, that security service will use the security of different security mechanisms like uh, securing the data within the organization, authenticating the users, and restricting the access to other organizations into your site, and securing the data while transmitting the data from one location to another location. So all these mechanisms will be combined into one, and it is considered as a security service, just like a package. Okay. So that package will contain different security mechanisms. So here, based upon the organization requirement, we are going to provide these security mechanisms. Okay. So in all security mechanisms, we are going to mainly use cryptographic techniques. Okay. So here, so what is the aim of our security mechanism is main is to prevent, detect and recognize, recover from the security attacks. So whenever an attack is happened, we try to prevent that attack, or we try to detect that attack, and we recover from that security attack. That is the main goal of our security mechanism. Okay. So security mechanism standards are there, which we consider as X800 standards. Just like ISO standards, we have the ISO security mechanism standard, which is called as X800, in which we can classify our security mechanisms into two different categories. That is specific security mechanism and pervasive security mechanism. So in the specific security mechanism, we are going to give the different type of methods which will prevent or which is going to detect or recover the security attacks. For example, we are going to have encipherment, digital signatures, access controls, data integrity, authentication, and traffic padding, and so on. Okay, different types of mechanisms are there. Same way in the pervasive security mechanism also, we are having trusted functionality, security labels, and event detection, security audit trials, and security recovery will be there. So we'll discuss one by one in depth about these mechanisms. First mechanism we are having in the specific is encipherment. So encipherment means nothing but encoding, and decoding is called as encipherment. So to encode or decode the information, we are going to use different mathematical methods, algorithms. Using these mathematical algorithms, we are going to convert the original message into encoded message. And encoded message, we are going to retrieve the encoded message from the original messages. So, which prevents the attackers to read the message. Okay, they get the message, but they will unable to read the message. Why? Because it is in the encoded format. So that is called first encipherment. The next method we are having digital signature. So in the digital signature, just like the normal signature, standard signatures, what is the use of these standard signatures? Same use we are going to be performed in the digital signature. So in the digital signature, we are going to append that particular signature at the end of the message, so that it will identify that whether the message is modified or not, or the message is sent from the genuine user or not, or message is sent from which user, that can be identified by using your digital signature. Okay. So which will be protect against the forgery. So one person's digital signature cannot be done by other person, other users. That is called as digital signature. So mainly our digital signatures are used for authentication purpose, data authentication and user authentication purpose. The next one is we are having access control mechanism. So in the access control mechanism, we are going to provide prevent the unauthorized users to access any resource or system. Okay. So only authorized users will be allowed to access. So different access control mechanisms are nothing but your passwords, where user is entering the data, you need to enter a password. Then only he will be allowed to enter into the particular system. So this password protection is considered as the access control. Then next security mechanism is we are having data integrity. So it is a mechanism where we are going to verify that whether the data is modified or the data is same whichever sent by the particular sender. Okay. So here we are going to have the integrity of data in the data units or data streams. Data units means we are going to verify we can use the integrity mechanism for only single packet each time, or we can use the security mechanism, security for all the data which is transmitted from one user to another user, that is called as stream data unit. Okay. So here the data integrity, what it will do, it will verify that whether any modification has been done to the data while it is transferring from one location to another. So that is called the data integrity mechanism. The next one is authentication exchange mechanism. So in the authentication exchange mechanism, we are going to identify the message or identify the users who are going to send the message or who are going to receive the message. So before transferring the data from one user to another user, what we are going to do is we are going to verify the identity of the particular users, whether we are transferring the data to the genuine user or not, or data is receiving from the genuine user or not. These authentication will be done before transferring the data. This type of security mechanism is called authentication exchange. The next one we are having is traffic padding. So traffic padding means what? Padding means nothing but adding the bits, extra bits to your original message. Okay. So whatever the original message will be there, for that original message we are going to add some dummy extra bits so that the traffic analysis attack can be prevented. So by analyzing the bits, the attackers cannot be identified which messages we are sending because we are adding the extra bits. So this type of security mechanism is called traffic padding. The next type of mechanism is we are having routing control. So which enables the routing control. So when transmitting the data from one user to another user, it should pass through the different networks. First it will go to the LAN network, from there it will go to the internet, from the internet it will move to the different routers, and then finally it will reach the destination. So in the routing control we can restrict that the data should be transmitted through only these particular network routers. So network router means what? Which will receive the data and transmit to the next network. That is called a router. Router will receive the information and it will transfer to the other router. So we are going to restrict these routers. So instead of sending the message to all the routers, we can select few routers which are secure and we can transfer the data only through those routers. It is called your router control mechanism. And one more most advanced feature in the security mechanism is notarization. So notarization means here we are going to use the trusted third party to assure the certain properties of data exchange. So instead of sending the data from directly A to B, if you don't have context or if you don't know that what is the ID of that particular user, B user, sender, then we are going to use this third party. So third party will be verifies the user details of A and B, and third party verifies the message and it is going to transfer the message on behalf of you. So that is called our notarization. So those all are called your one type of security mechanism. Then pervasive security mechanisms. So we are having the pervasive security mechanisms which are called as trusted functionality. So that is which receives the correct with the respect to the some criteria. So trusted functionality means we are going to give some set of criteria will be given beforehand, and based upon the criteria we are going to decide that whether the received message is correct or not, or the sender input IP address is correct or not. These things will be verified based upon those criteria. That type of mechanism, security mechanism, is called your trusted functionality security mechanism. Same way we are going to have the security labeling, which will be on the resources, the name or the designate of security attributes of that particular resource. So what happens when you are going to use any resources, the resource will contain a label in which it will provide that which users can access that particular resource. So against those resource names, other names or other users will not be allowed to access that particular resources. That is called your security labeling. Next is event detection. So in the event detection, it is going to detect the detection of security and relative events. So any event occurred which feels the system feels that it is a security violation, immediately it is going to identify that particular detection. For example, any file which is deleted by user, which is more important and which should not be deleted. So that type of information immediately identified and it will restrict. So that is called event detection. Next, security audit trails. So in the security audit trails, what we are going to do, we are going to collect the data. So audit trails means what? We are going to collect all the information data, and we are going to analyze that data, audit that particular security, and we are going to identify that any security breaches or any security attacks have been recorded in our system or not. So these audit trails are more useful to find out whether any unauthorized access is done or not, to find out any data loss has been happened. So all this information can be gathered by using this security audit trail. Then final one is security recovery. So where we are going to, once we identify some attack has been done, we should recover from that attack. So to handle this, we are going to use different management functions which are going to restore the previous data which is deleted, or we are going to restore the previous settings. So this type of things we consider as security recovery. So all these are considered as our security mechanism. So the summary of this thing is, the mechanism is a function which provides some security, and combination of all these methods will be considered as a security service. Okay? So which will prevent our security attacks. So this is the conclusion of the class. Next class we will discuss the other topic. Thank you.